or even human beings, we have different phases of our lives, right? And it's important to talk about them. Leadership isn't just, oh, because they want this now, I'm going to do this. No, it's thinking ahead to say, what exactly can I do, or what exactly needs to be done? What is the space that is not being fully activated that would serve people? For me, that's what it is. So, yeah. Because understanding breeds collaboration. Understanding breeds innovation. It's all about understanding. My name is Favour Odusola. I am a dance artist, an interdisciplinary dance artist working across music, dance, and theater. And I usually create work to speak towards like societal issues, or, create events or create anything that literally helps or pushes towards structural when you talk about dance and talk about entertainment. That's a very good question. I think for me, when I decided to stop waiting for permission was 2013, where I was already on the path of creation, of working, and I understood exactly what the structure and what my dance career would be like. And I realized that instead of waiting for people to create these spaces, and this started when I was in university, I would create it myself and see how that works. So the first thing I created was a dance. No. The dance school is there. It was an open mic night event with my music team then called Ace, and we called it open mic night, literally. And that was our first opportunity, because then we used to make music. And we saw that back in school there were not a lot of artists that had a space to actually perform their work, especially in university section, to kind of build your brand from the ground up, like build a following. And so we created that. That's the moment I stopped. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this myself now. We want permission. That's all about vibes. It's a big misconception. It is about vibes, but there's a lot more to it. It's one thing. It's good to feel good, right? It's nice that it makes you feel some type of way. But if you're going to want to go deeper into it, it's important to also go through, research. Just like anything in the world, anywhere, it's really important. So vibe alone isn't everything. If we're looking at everything in general, I think it's the same thing. Even in music and entertainment, you just need to research. You need to look deeper, right? Because the essence of, African, Nigerian, whichever culture comes from, the essence of its artistry, the essence of its music, its dance, it all stems from something deeper. It stems from an understanding of something. So before you can, get to the point whereby you're free to engage with this particular art form, music or dance, whichever way, you need to understand where it comes from, because that's what breeds consistency, and that's what breeds the continuality of it. Serving. Like literally my name, a lot of people don't know this, and some people find out this from this. Literally my name, Proud African King, was because of the proud is I'm a proud son of God, of course. African, I'm Nigerian. I really, I'm really very particular about that. And for me, the understanding of word king is someone that serves. So the idea of leadership is you're serving something specific for people that they know they want or they don't know they want. It's really important, because that's what the idea of leadership is. Leadership isn't just, oh, because they want this now, I'm going to do this. No, it's thinking ahead to say, what exactly can I do, or what exactly needs to be done? What is the space that is not being fully activated that would serve people? For me, that's what it is. So, yeah. What have they taught me in terms of power, visibility, or what did they give me? Adaptability is one of the biggest things I've learned from working on different stages. You have to be able to be adaptable. You have to learn how to work on your strengths and build your weaknesses, right? And by build your weaknesses is you need to know how to work to limit your weakness, like reduce your weaknesses, because the industry and people, it's built on the back of being adaptable. It's built on the back of being able to go through different things at once, right? Understand, even if you're not the one doing it, just understanding, being in that position where you're making things easier for someone else, because everybody wants something to be easier. So from dancing on different stages and, doing that, and especially coming from starting with a dance background, one thing I had to learn is when you look at dance, when it comes to a stage, when it comes to a performance, what are the different things that are important? When you learn that, you would realize that your value as an artist or a dancer grows. But then if you look at production, so it's about adaptability and understanding the different sectors, the different ideas, the different parts and parts that make it good. So for me, that's one thing I've learned dancing for so many people. Yeah. I don't. Honestly, I think, and I don't know if I think it's something that grew with me, right, back in Nigeria, which for me, any point in time where I see a blockade or resistance, as they would call it, I feel like it's my God-given right to be like, okay, this is where I'm meant to be right now. Let us deal with this, So for me, I welcome resistance. I welcome, blockages. I welcome things like that, because for me, I'm like, this is what I was born to do, rather than, just being an artist or working in the art form. For me, it's more about breaking boundaries. It's more about creating structures. It's more about, working across borders. And the only way these things you would find them is where you see spaces where you feel like there's resistance. Oh, there is always an element of the Yoruba culture in anything I do. It's there. It's there. And I've learned right now that when I create, I don't have to make it so visible for people to see that you're like, oh, this is the culture. No. But it's, even if I am working across styles, I'm working across disciplines, right? For me, if you want to know it or understand it, you need to look at the elements of what makes it up. It could be either in the dance, it could be either in the transitions, it could be either in the speech, it could be in the music, it could be in, words. You never. I have learned as I'm growing as an artist that I don't need to spoon feed anymore, because being an artist, it's about internalizing, it's about sharing, and it's about welcoming people to go deeper into what you're doing, not about making it as simple as possible. Like, it's still simple, but it's still, so for every work I do, there's a Yoruba thing to it, because I feel like that's who I am, that's what I'm based in, and I share a very deep connection with Shango. So yeah, for me, it's really important. Personally, keep your circle of friends. Find the right circle of friends and keep it, because they are the ones that will get you through the hard times. Honestly, if you don't have that, you're gonna get to a point where second guessing everything you do will become a daily thing, right? And also trust in what you've figured out. Because for me, the best way to build community is by creating something that is needed or something that is valued. Now, you thinking that, whether you believe in God or whatever you believe in, it's given to you spiritually, right? You didn't just sit down one day and whichever way you did it, it came to you. So you have to trust that that thing coming to you serves a particular purpose. What the purpose is, that can change. But as long as you keep that and you have those friends around you that even though you're like, man, I'm feeling this way, this is happening, they are there to guide you. Community-wise, make sure you stick to the purpose. It's really important. Don't deviate from it. You can build it, you can grow it, but let it be that at the root of it all, that remains, right? Understand that things will happen. Understand that so many things will go wrong and go right. Even Jesus was tempted. Say how many times the devil was giving him boost. My guy was weaving it like Matrix. So don't expect that when it comes to you that everything is going to be smooth sailing roses. Expect that things are going to go wrong, but it's your duty to adapt. Again, adaptability, to have your grounded, your friends, whoever is around you that grounds you, and make sure that whatever you're doing it with purpose, you're doing it with conviction, and you're staying true to the reason why you started in the first place. Booyah. I think it's amazing what a lot of artists, whether artists in whichever form, our form, are doing right now. I think it's really important because everything serves a reason. I think that for me, it all boils down to just creating work, creating to engage with the human conscious. I feel like there is so many, not I feel like, there is so many things that we have to bring, creatives in African creatives in Europe, that we have to bring, that we have to show, that we have to showcase, that tomorrow someone's going to come up with something new, right? There's always something new. I mean, I feel like I have responsibility, yeah, because I feel like it's very important for people here to understand where we come from, what we're about, and how much we bring to the table. It's that simple. We can just create our own table. We're not bringing to anybody's table, bro. We have our own table. They should come and join our table. But my responsibility is to keep telling the story, keep showing up, keep being adaptable, and at the end of the day, stay true to myself. Because every other artist that I know that are killing it out there right now are staying true to themselves, And the best thing is, while you do that, make sure that your work is intentful in itself, right? That it's not just, you're not just watching and copying, but you're really intentful of this. Okay, this is what I do. This is how I do it. Full stop. You know what I mean? So yeah. Perfect. Love your neighbor as yourself. Let's love each other. For me, I think love is understanding. It is what it is. It's understanding, and that is a big word in itself, because it's easy to say I understand, but it's not easy to understand, because understanding means you have to let go of yourself and what you think, and to immerse yourself in what this person is saying or doing. It's really important, because as human beings, we grow up, the older we get, the younger we, old, young, whatever it is, we all have sets of ideas. We all have sets of values, of principles. So when you have someone else coming in from a specific point of view, before you can tell the person, no, that's not wrong. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, no, this is not what it is. Or even being able to work with people, you need to understand them. You need to let go of what you think is right and just listen, right? And then by that, you could go research whatever they've said, or if you've researched well enough to know what they're saying, then you can offer and say, oh, let's do it. Because understanding breeds collaboration. Understanding breeds innovation. It's all about understanding. So for me, I would say in this instance, love, talking about love, is understanding. Now, it's me trying to perform it or trying to figure out a way to connect with people. It's about getting you to understand me. It's about getting us to understand people, or people to understand us or what we're doing. And for me, I think that's the greatest form of love, because the moment everyone understands, we're easier to communicate. It's easier to connect. And what else is love? That's what Jesus did. God said, instead of God to say, all of you love me, no, he sent Jesus. Jesus came, walk around, talk to plenty people. He used their situation. He was doing things that were particular to different places to get them to understand him. And then when he left, he said, these ones that I have left you people. You people should not do the same thing I was doing, because that's the only way it works. If you don't do it like that, it's not going to work. So them today, we go around. Some people we beat there, flog there. But what did they do? They had to go and understand and say, wait, I'm trying to tell you that 1 + 1 is 2. But I have to find a way to explain so you understand me. You understand? So for me, I think that's the greatest way of spreading love in any form. Exactly. I'm still there. It says the resilience and limitation. I mean, resilience. You have to be resilient in this life. You have to figure out how your resilience work. Because if you don't figure out your resilience work, you will be resilient for the rest of your life in ground one. So reinvention. You have to always reinvent yourself, because the world is constantly reinventing. Somebody that was popular 6 years ago is not popular now, because so many things have happened. AI, all these things. You will lose yourself. It's like Eminem. You better lose yourself in the music. You will lose yourself. Hey, faster that they will throw something, you have disappeared. but it's very important. Those two things, the reason why I go back to them every time, let me speak to my English now. The reason why I go back to them every time is because I feel like in whatever phase of your life you are, they're really important to think about, right? Resilience by that consistency, keeping true to what you're doing, working hard. It's there every time. And I have discovered, there's a piece I'm working on right now that I've discovered that as artists or even human beings, we have different phases of our lives, right? And it's important to talk about them. A lot of people would say, oh, they know. Yeah, we know we have different phases, but do we actually talk about them? Do we actually sit down and say, oh, I was this time and in this, I can see my life was doing this? Because the more you talk about them, you can help someone that's just coming up that knows, okay, so if 7 people understand each other and they're talking about resilience and this, that means definitely it will happen to me. So what can I do to make sure that I don't do what they did, and by that you talk to them out of that. So for me, it's still a huge part of my work, a huge part of what I do and how I do it. And yeah, I hope everyone can get onto that.